Hi lovelies, I'm Maria, beauty vlogger for Luxe Pineapple, and today I have a makeup for the minimalist tutorial to share with you. I recently got a request from a gal who doesn't wear makeup but wants help in getting started. Here's what she has to say. I never wear makeup, but I have to attend a few formal functions and would like to look more put together. Help, I don't know where to start. Something to remember is that we don't wear makeup to be beautiful. Makeup only serves to enhance our natural beauty. So I love to keep that in mind. Those who don't wear makeup that often, I think it's such a neat thing that you could be very confident, go without makeup. And it's interesting the contrast between people who always wear makeup and tend to be afraid to go out without makeup, as opposed to those who don't usually wear makeup very often and tend to feel more nervous going out with makeup. So I thought it over about some of the things that I think are just the bare minimum things that are going to help you look a little bit more refreshed, more awake, more even skin tone, and just your natural face, only better. So it's going to be more of a no makeup look, and I really hope that you guys find this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment below. So let's go ahead and get started. So to start off, we're just going to go in with a concealer to even out the skin tone, fix any problem areas. For me, it's these dark under eye circles, and then a few little red spots right here by my nose, and then maybe a few blemishes around the face. Now, since you're new to makeup, or if you are new to makeup or really want to stay minimal makeup, I suggest rather than a full foundation, that you just use a concealer and touch up the spots that need help, not necessarily having to go over your entire face with the foundation. So that's what we're going to do now. The one I'm using today is from Benefit, and it's the Fake Up. I like this one because it has the concealer, and then around it is this like conditioning balm cream, and so it really makes your skin feel hydrated and moisturized rather than really dry, and some concealers tend to feel dry. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply that under my eyes. And then a few little spots here and there that need a little bit of attention. I might even take that just down the bridge of my nose a little bit and then up here. Then I'm going to take a triangle wedge sponge and lightly blend it all in. Go ahead and bring that over to the top of my eyelids as well. Just even out all that, the dark circles, any blemishes. And there already our face looks a little bit more even, a little bit more put together, not so splotchy or blotchy or anything like that. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and set the concealer we just put on our face. Now you can use a translucent setting powder, or you can use one that has a little bit of color that matches your skin tone. What I'm actually going to use is something I kind of mixed myself. It is a mixture of the Midnight Banana powder, which has a yellowish tint that really goes well with my skin tone and helps to conceal especially my under eye circles. And the other powder is from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and it's their HD Brightening Setting Powder. This is for the under eyes as well. It has micro light reflecting pigments, so I like to use that because it really it's not like a shimmer that looks shimmery or looks glittery on your face, but just has a way of making the light reflect off your skin and just look really gorgeous. So I like using that the most, and I use this under my eyes. But for today, just to give you an idea of how to apply, I'm going to use it under my eyes and then also around the rest of my face where I applied the concealer, just to set it and blend it in. And like I said, a translucent powder will do great for this, as well as a colored powder. And I'm just using a setting brush to lightly pat that on. And I am going to put it on just a little bit heavy because then I'm going to go and blend whatever is left all around the rest of my face. So now I've set the spots that I've used the concealer on. And now I'm just going to take a kabuki brush and just kind of blend and buff that all in throughout the rest of my face. So I don't have spots that look, you know, to look a little bit more dry than others. So just going to take that and just swirl this around. Didn't add any product, I'm just using whatever product is left on my face and just swirling it around the rest of my face. Now what we're doing is helping your skin look a little bit more even in tone, no blotchy spots, no red spots. Your face just looks very natural, more awake, and very refreshed. Next we're going to go in with a blush. Now I'm going to be using this one called Hot Mama from the Balm, and I like this one because it's a gorgeous kind of corally shade that I think is going to look great on just about every skin tone. And this also has some golden shimmer to it as well, so this almost like doubles as a highlighter, which obviously if we're staying very minimal, you're not going to do a lot of or any contouring or highlighting, just a little bit of blush to add some flush of color to your cheeks so you don't look too one-dimensional. But this is really great because it's going to add some color to your cheeks but also give a nice highlighting, reflecting look so you just glow. And now you just look a little bit more alive, a little bit more awake, very youthful. You've got this nice flush of color to your cheeks, and it really just works to lift and make your face look very vibrant and lovely. So, and if you ever feel like you've put too much blush on or too much product on, you can always go back in over with the kabuki brush and just kind of work to blend the color in and out a little bit more. I know being new to makeup, or when you don't wear makeup that often, applying first time can be a little bit difficult in knowing how much to use and all that, so you know, don't ever worry. You can always just buff it out a little bit more, but also just go in with a light hand to begin with, and then you can always build up the color. Next thing I would suggest is taming your eyebrows. And I know eyebrows can be very intimidating with all the products there are out there, filling them in and all that kind of stuff, but if you're not someone who really does that very often, I would suggest just going over them with some brow gel. It doesn't take any skill or anything, but what it's going to do is just tame them, keep them looking nice and brushed and in the same direction. So just a clear brow gel applied to your eyebrows to help keep them in place, and what I like to do is just brush upwards and then back. And since you're going with such a minimal makeup look, you don't really need to worry about filling them in anyways, because a big bold brow with really no makeup is just going to be overkill. So just as long as you have them looking in place, not messy, keeps you looking put together. And already you can see there's a really big difference from the before and to now, how my skin is a lot more even. I've got this nice flush of color, our brows are in place, and if you're good with how this looks, you could go ahead and just add mascara and a little bit of lip gloss and be good to go. But if you'd like to take it one step further, I would suggest just a touch of eyeshadow to bring a little bit more dimension to your eyes. For someone who's starting out in makeup or doesn't wear makeup very often, I definitely recommend the Naked Basics. This is a gorgeous palette that is filled with only neutral colors, as you can see. They're mostly matte, and then there is, yeah, all matte except for one shimmer shade. And we are just gonna go ahead and use 3 of these shades. So if you'd like to take it a step further, then here is what we will do. I'm gonna take a blending brush, and this is just a brush that's very fluffy, wide, and I'm gonna go in with this darkest brown here, and this is called Faint. I'm just gonna lightly take it to my blending brush, tap off any excess, and all I'm going to do is just sweep that into the outer corner here into the crease and just kind of make circular motions and blend forward or towards the middle of our eye. So just circular motions, and then kind of a windshield wiper motion as well. So just a circular and then sweep forward. And you just want to work it and blend it so you don't have any harsh lines. It's going to look almost like a no makeup look. It's not going to look like you have a ton of makeup on, but it is going to add just a touch of definition to your eyes to make them pop just that much more. And you can kind of see the difference between this eye and this eye. This one just looks like a little bit more defined, and there's just something a little about this one. So now we're going to go ahead and go in with the other eye. This is very simple. It's really easy. You don't have to apply too much. You don't need a bunch of brushes. You don't need to have a degree in makeup. Just simply blend a touch of color. Again, we were doing this from the outer corner into the crease. Just circular motions and windshield wiper motions. Now that you got it nice and blended, I'm going to go in with a flat angled brush. This just has like a little angle right here, and it's completely flat. And I'm going to go in with this black color here called Crave, and I'm just going to tap the brush there. And what we're going to do is line our upper lash line, not all the way in, but you'll just start at the outer corner as close to your lash line as possible, and just sweep it forward along the lash line. What this is going to do is, again, define your eyes and make your lashes appear a little bit thicker. Doing this with an eyeshadow as opposed to an actual eyeliner or a liquid liner is going to just appear a little bit more softer and subtle. And then again to the other eye. Like I said, you're not going all the way in, so you don't want to take it all the way down here. I kind of just stopped right here at the, pretty much the start of my lashes, right here. Next, I'm going to take the same brush, and I'm not really going to wipe any of the product off. It's, you know, whatever's just left on is fine. And then I'm going to go in again with this brown shade here, Faint, and I'm just going to tap it in there again. And then bring that very carefully to the lower lash line. Right under here. You want to get it as close as you can from probably about the center, and then you're going to bring it back. Again, you don't want to go all the way to the inner corner. You just want a nice subtle look, and I'm just going to lightly touch it to my lower lash line. Again, this is just going to define our eyes and just make them pop us that much more. Just lightly, very subtly. And there we have it. That is it for that. If you'd like, you could also go back in with it with that brush. Make sure you wipe it off there so there's not any brown on it. And then kind of just swoop it under just to blend it a little bit more so there's no harsh lines. Next thing I'm going to do is go back in with the only shimmer shade in this palette, and this is Venus. And I'm just going to take my finger, rub it on there like that, and bring it to the inner corners of my eyes. And just touch it. And then also to the brow bone to give your brows a little bit of a lift. This will just make your eyes look a little bit more awake and refreshed. And just make them look very bright and alive. And there we have it, a very pulled together look. The last thing you're going to do is add mascara. Now, I'm not sure if many of you who don't wear makeup very often will want to apply mascara, but if you do, I suggest one that's a little bit more natural looking and that gives a lot more definition as opposed to like volume and thickness, because again, you're probably going for a lot more natural, minimalistic look. One of my favorites for that kind of thing is the Define the Lash Mascara from Maybelline. You can find this at the drugstore. But this is a really great mascara for adding length and a definition. It really separates the lashes. They don't get too clumped up, they don't look too thick, and it's not overpowering for a soft, subtle look. I'm going to start with your lower lashes first. Talked about this in one of my previous videos. It's a really great tip so you don't get any mascara on your eyelids if you apply there first. Okay. And then lastly, just add a touch of lip gloss, a tinted lip gloss, anything with just a subtle touch of color. You don't want anything to be too overpowering, just enough to give you a nice, natural, your face but better, no makeup look, a perfect look to feel and look put together really easily. I'm just going to be using this one from Benefit. This is in Wild Child. And it just gives a nice touch of color, a subtle hint of color with a nice beautiful gloss. And that is it. That completes the look. So that completes the look. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit closer of what I did. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this Makeup for the Minimalist tutorial. I hope you found it helpful, and I definitely hope you feel a little bit more put together. Remember that makeup doesn't make you beautiful, it only serves to enhance your natural beauty. So don't ever feel like you need makeup, but I do hope you found this helpful and that it helps to boost your confidence. Thanks so much for watching. Please send me your suggestions or requests at maria@luxpineapple.com, and until next time, be sure to stop by luxpineapple.com where you'll always find a sweet deal.